Hello, everyone. Until today, humanity has explored only a very small part of the oceans. So much so that if you dive deeper than 3,500 meters, your chances of discovering a new species unknown to science are quite high. In fact, the possibility of finding wreckage or debris also increases. Oceans cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface. The average depth of the oceans is about 3.7 kilometers, and since light can only reach down to 100 meters, darkness always dominates the deeper waters. Given that most of our planet is covered with water, this means that in fact, a large part of the Earth is completely shrouded in darkness. Almost 96% of the water on Earth is in the oceans. Compared to seawater, the proportion of fresh water is so small that if all the fresh water were spread across the surface of the ocean, it would form a layer only about 1.3 meters thick. 94% of all living creatures on Earth live in water. This means that we, who live on land, actually make up a very small minority. So what do you think is hidden in the depths of the oceans? In fact, the deeper we go, the greater the mystery becomes. The lack of light and extreme pressure make exploring these parts of the ocean very difficult. It seems that we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about the ocean floor of our own planet. In today's video, we will take a journey deep into the ocean. As we descend, we will witness what the ocean looks like, and who knows what we might discover there. Now let's imagine a submarine vehicle together and board it for our journey. On this voyage, we will make short stops at some important points until we reach the very bottom of the ocean. Are you ready? Let's dive. 40 meters. 40 meters is the maximum depth pearl divers can reach without scuba equipment, only by holding their breath. Below 40 meters, increasing pressure forces the air out of the lungs. Therefore, for non-professional divers, the maximum depth is 40 meters, 200 meters. 90% of marine life is found in the 200-meter deep layer of the world's oceans. This is because, as you might guess, light still manages to filter through the water at this depth. The biomass here creates conditions for phytoplankton, which feed on small crustaceans, to grow. In turn, phytoplankton become a food source for fish and large mammals, such as whales. Now we dive a little deeper. We see less light and even fewer signs of life. Yes, we are slowly entering the twilight zone, 332 meters. The world record for the deepest scuba dive was set at this depth. No one can dive deeper without a submarine, also called a bathyscaphe, 565 meters. This is the maximum diving depth of emperor penguins. Here, photosynthesis almost does not exist. Therefore, there is neither enough light nor plant cover. However, it is still possible to find many fish here. Yet it cannot be said that this is a very friendly environment for most fish. Instead of looking for friends, fish go deeper to hide from predators and to survive. 1,000 meters. We are now at the end of the twilight zone. Less than 1% of sunlight reaches here. However, the residents of this region seem to have learned how to emit their own light. For example, the anglerfish uses bioluminescence to lure prey into its trap and keep predators away. Bioluminescence is the name given to the production and emission of light during chemical reactions performed by some living organisms. At this depth, we can also see siphonophores, close relatives of jellyfish, which live in colonies clustered around a long tube that acts as a common digestive system. As you can see, the deeper we go, the stranger and more extraordinary the life forms become. 1,027 meters. On the screen, we now see a recording of a military submarine dive. As we continue, we enter the midnight zone, where pitch darkness rules. Food sources are extremely limited, so marine life here must conserve energy. Most animals here do not actively hunt. Instead, they drift, feeding on microscopic particles from dead fish, remains, plankton, feces, dust, and sand. 2,200 meters. This is the depth where giant squids and massive sperm whales are found. It has even been observed that deadly battles sometimes occur at these depths. The anglerfish appears again at 2,200 meters, with the light dangling in front of its face. In the deep darkness of the ocean, it lures small fish with its glowing bait, making them easy prey. 6,000 meters. This is the depth at which intercontinental internet cables are laid on the ocean floor. More than 90% of the ocean lies at a depth of about 6,000 meters, which is considered the ocean's bottom. However, there are many places where the ocean goes even deeper. Yes, we are now talking about the most famous and deepest regions of the oceans,